Oh my goodness. So much Christmas stuff. So much Christmas stuff. Oh my gosh. Before we hit the houses that we had to work on, we've spotted this little Salvation Army store. So we popped in here to see what we could find. I was very, very excited when my friend said that, yeah, sure, let's hit the thrift shops. I thought it was going to be just a work, work, work day. So I'm scanning the shelf, and what do I spot? Hello, E.T. Now these don't have a maker's name, at least not one that I can see without peeling the labels, but at $1 each, these are definitely going in my cart. All right, these things, I know some of you can sell these. I never could. I could never get more than 10 bucks for these things, and they sit forever. And honestly, they do kind of creep me out. And these David Winter cottages, there used to be a big market for them. And some of the larger ones still sell for good money, but you really have to know what you're buying because most of them sell for $5. I just thought that was super cute. And I apologize, I am going a little faster than normal as we have a big day ahead of us and I didn't have a lot of time to spend scanning the shelves. So please just accept my apologies now. I may be going a little quick. I like the looks of this piece of pottery. It's not super new, but it's not super old. Had a really nice glaze, and for $5, I thought I could definitely do something with it. And I spot this very, very retro orange spotted piece that is a hobbyist piece. It's an ashtray, it's large and bulky, so I did leave that one behind. That's just a cute cat with boots. I spot this, it's original work by, and I can't quite make out the name, but I believe it is like a local artist in Arizona. I would have picked this up had it not been $7. It was interesting, but I think it would sell for around $20. I considered getting this for my daughter. I don't get these for resale much anymore. They just are not bringing the money. They did use real sterling silver in them, though. They are inlaid. Okay, yes, I do hum while I shop. Dolls under here. Especially when the music stops. I'm either singing with the music, or then when the music stops, I have to like just make my own music. I'm scanning here for bunnies by the bay. Okay, music's back on, so we gotta go back to taking out that sound. Scanning the shelves here, nothing too exciting. I thought that this might be one of those like Mastercraft clocks, but on closer inspection, it is not. It is not. It was resin. And then I'm looking over here kind of at the crafty stuff, and up on the shelf they have this. This is actually like a plaster or chalkware clock. Definitely didn't think I'd be able to get that home safely, so I left it behind. I always look, even when the shelves aren't that exciting, This thing, somebody please tell me what the purpose of this is. Is it, I mean, it looks like a kind of like chip and dip, but where would the dip? I don't know. Is it missing something or am I missing something? These are some cute coasters. I considered getting these, but I am trying to be a little bit more discriminating on what I pick up. That bird cage was pretty cool. I spot this really cute little creamer in the shape of a slice of cake. And then behind it, I spot the sugar bowl, which says, let's see, this one says big fat cake. The pudding says big fat pudding. They're made by Studio Nova. I could only find listed actives, no sold, so that's not a good sign, and I'm glad I didn't pick these up. This was cute, but it did have a chip. And then I spot these. These are fish, and they are made by a brand called Calica, which actually, it can be a decent brand, but these are big, hard to ship for $15. Just not worth it. So I did leave them behind. Reluctantly, though, because I did like them. Sometimes one of the toughest things about this business is having to make those decisions. I was just seeing who made these little Christmas dishes, but they were unmarked. As I look at this art, I want to warn you, the next part of the video might not be for the squeamish as we move into the first house that we needed to go work on. So people think house cleanouts are all fun and games. I'm going to tell you, I almost can't breathe. This place smells so bad. But yeah. Type. It's too bad these guys are got mold on them. Yeah. Oof. Yummy. Yeah, I couldn't even stay in the house. It smelled so bad. These are just some sheds, and this is it. This all has to be cleaned out, so it isn't all fun and games. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, I've got a couple. This is a quilt, actually. I think it's machine stitched though, and it's pretty grungy. I'm gonna throw, nice thing about the throw, can always throw it into the washing machine and see what happens. Oh, it's dark in here. Don't have any light, so can't show you. But if I get anything out of here, I will show you what came out of here. So, I found this Washington Redskins jacket. That's probably going to be worth some money. Some hats, including, oh, look at that. Not just a Bass Pro Shop, but that one's in really good condition. Found a projector, and then I got a box of old lighting equipment. So, hey, you know what? We found a few things. The next house we went in was much better to be in and had some nice stuff. The owner died. We could tell all the jewelry boxes had been emptied, but the family left all the knickknacks behind. There were things in this house that led us to believe she did some witchcraft, and we got some weird vibes when we were out in the garage. This little cabinet itself is pretty sweet. Ooh, those pedestal cake plates are awesome. Oh my gosh. Oh, look at this thing. That's cool. Okay. Oh, okay. It's pretty dark in this room. I don't know if you can see, but oh, this is going to be a fun one to clean out. It's too dark. It's too dark to see in here. Yeah. This all has to be cleaned out. Oh. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Whew. Oh my goodness. So much Christmas stuff. So much Christmas stuff. Oh my gosh. This is the garage. And it smells out here. Probably because of those. Yuck. Track of where I'm going. Gotta shoot the video. Okay, so my camera was messing up and I didn't even realize it. So I have a few things in my cart that I'm gonna have to show you. But I went back to show you the shelves and show you some things I did pass by, including these vultures who, they weren't really heavy enough to be bookends and they didn't match. One had eyes, one didn't. So there was just something off about them, so I left those behind. And then I spot this little bear bank, and it is vintage, but I'm not a teddy bear person. So I left that one, and those were cute. And then I see this little beaver, but his paint is really kind of not in the greatest condition. Had his paint been good, I might have picked him up. This, I thought, was a Coco Joe's figure, but I don't believe Coco Joe's have that kind of a label on the bottom, so she got left behind. And then I spot this girl. But these actually do pretty good. These Susan Paley by Gans. If it didn't have that chip, I'd pick her up. Get you up here. Try to see this piece here. It's really, what's this on the bottom? Oh, it says Teleflora Gifts. Really cute though. Okay, let's see what else. Down here, there's this big wood plate. It's kind of cute. Had two different prices on it. And I just wasn't digging it enough to go figure out which price was right. And then I spot this. And I love these things. But this one did have a chip. So chip was a deal breaker. Otherwise, I would have bought that. I like the look of this swan planter in the back. I do believe this was a hobbyist piece, which just means that somebody bought like a blank piece of ceramic and then painted it and glazed it themselves. I spot this thing in the back here. Kind of creepy. I'm looking at it thinking maybe I should have bought it because it's kind of creepy. Creepy sells. This was another nice piece of cookware, servingware. There was no marks on the bottom that I could see anyways. It had a really nice look, but it did have a chip. The chip, again, I'm just being super careful about what I'm bringing home. This looked very mid-century, and I was trying to get this little stopper out to see what the stopper looked like. It had the plastic, so it's not super old, but it could have been, 70s. I'm thinking 70s. It's made in Japan, but I did end up leaving that one behind. And here's my cart. I found I believe this is a Kurok, but I could be wrong because it doesn't have the Kurok mark. So I think it's a wannabe Kurok. And then this nice little kind of, not mosaic, what's the word? Like a marquetry box. The amount of Christmas stuff on the shelves at these Goodwills is mind-blowing. And here's my caution on this. While there's a lot of stuff to be found, I think we sellers need to be very careful because that also is going to mean the market is going to be a bit full when it comes time for people to really start looking for this stuff. Because if a lot of people are picking it up to resell, that means the competition to sell the stuff is going to be greater for the more common items. So when you're picking up Christmas, really look for things that are different, unique, vintage, wacky, like, Santa Light, but I didn't pick him up. Just be very careful about what Christmas things you are bringing home to resell because the market is going to be pretty saturated with Christmas stuff. This is happening in every Goodwill that I go in. I think a lot of people did some cleaning out while they were on lockdown. I tend to not buy a lot of electronic type things, so I'm not super motivated to even look further at that. And I think this would have had a lid. It's a nice big cookie jar in the form of a milk tank, like, what do you call it? Why am I lost for words today? Oi. Because I used to deal with those things when I was milking goats. I spot these little bird salt and peppers, but they do have them priced each. And they are pure one, and one of them had a chip. They had all their canisters down on the bottom. Then I spot this. This reminds me of the piece I showed on my show recently, which is like the Blanc de Chine with the applied flowers, but I didn't get it. Okay, I am drawn to first, well, I thought, can I put this on Ozzy? And then I spot this brand new leash, and it was $1.49, so that went into my cart because I need one. Southern Living. Oh, these are so cute. Oh, that's the bummer. It's really heavy. Those plates really looked vintage, but they are new, as you can see. And this is nice, got Talavera colors, but I just wasn't feeling it today. Then I spot these fish plates. These are by Strawberry Street, and actually, they're not a bad buy. I spot this old plate down here by itself. Well, it's not by itself, but I mean there's like one. And it's got the natural crazing and age, and look at that. It is a Red Wing. So this one I did bring home. Okay, I wasn't real motivated to be shopping the glasses, but I did spot these. But those were painted. And then I thought this was a plate at first, but nope, it is a tin tray. So when I'm far from home, I'm a little less motivated. But I did spot this Tweety. This is a Pepsi glass from the 1990s. Tweety isn't one of like the real sought after ones. And they were asking $2.49. So maybe at 99 cents I would have picked Tweety up. And I'm always looking for Disney mugs, but this one had gone through the dishwasher and was faded.
This is Corningware. And this is Glass Bake. Glass Bake. There's more of that copper stuff. It's everywhere. It's kind of, that's more of that hobbyist. I mean, it's old, it's vintage, but
I was pleasantly surprised to see this Goodwill had their art displayed like my local savers. I really love shopping the art when it's laid out like this. Just for me, it's like it makes it so much easier to decide which items are really going to like pull me in.
okay, what could I do with that? I don't know.
I am not a big fan of shopping from these over the clothes kind of shelves. I'm not that tall, so it makes it a little hard to spot things. Though I found another piece of that silver overlay, as you can see, but I don't pick these up. I just don't. China. So I spot this Epoch, I don't know how you say it, by Noritake, but it is just a no seller. And All Fits and Floyd is not created equal. You can find this basket for $9.25 with best offer. So just a brand name in and of itself doesn't mean it's worth picking up. You gotta kind of know even within the brand which items are worth it and which items aren't. Now these are vintage nativity pieces, but the reason I did not pick them up is, well, first, they're $2.49, and secondly, it was one wise man and just Mary with no one else to go with them. I was checking if these were anything special, but they were not. Everybody was cleaning out all their garages and stuff, and what's the easiest thing to get rid of? Yep. Which means there's going to be an abundance of it on the market. So the Christmas stuff has its own shelves in the back, it has its own shelves in the front, and it's taking up shelves on top of the clothing racks as well. So I'm looking at the wood stuff, through the wood stuff, and I'm not spotting anything that really excites me until I come to this little butcher block, which is in a little bit rough shape, and they wanted $10 for it, so I did leave that. Coming to the end of this shopping trip, I'm just scanning these top shelves one more time, looking for something, not really being excited by anything. I did spot this cute little painted mouse trap, but you know, nothing all that exciting. And just more Christmas stuff. So I am going to leave you with this. please hit the subscribe button. And, you know, if you feel like giving me a thumbs up, I would ever so much appreciate that. And go be profitable and make it fun. And I will see you on part 2. Bye.